So do you feel like everyone else is in charge of your life? Hi, I'm Charlie McKeever, your happy man coach. And a lot of times when I talk with men, they feel like their wife is in charge of their life. What they're really talking about is her criticism, her upset, her mood. They feel like they are constantly trying to make her happy. They're constantly trying to not make any mistakes. They're constantly tamping down the things that they want to say. They're not being honest about how they feel. They're not saying what it is they want to say. They're not pushing back when she gets upset. When she criticizes them, they withdraw, they shrink, they shut down, they get quiet. And this is her mood controlling them. And it's their thoughts about her mood that's controlling them. Because if they just accept the idea that her mood is controlling them, well, now they're victims. Now they're powerless. Now they're choiceless. Now they're dependent. But if they say, wait a minute, my thoughts about her moods, my discomfort about her moods, that's what's modifying my behavior. That's what's making me get small. I'm avoiding confrontation. I'm avoiding discomfort. I'm trying to keep the peace, but I don't feel any inner peace at all. So this is what I help men with. I help them understand what's going on, that she's hurt, that she's upset, that she's frustrated, that she's actually looking to him to fix this, that she wants him to value himself. She wants him to set some boundaries. She wants him to push back. She wants him to know who he is, and to trust himself and to respect himself. Because when we have somebody in our life that we feel like doesn't respect themselves, that doesn't stand up for themselves, that doesn't know who they are, who kind of when somebody just defers to everybody else and doesn't have their own opinion, then we feel, that feels gross. We feel upset at that, right? We don't respect that. We feel frustrated at that. We want that other person to own themselves. We want them to be able to lead themselves. And a lot of times in a relationship, she wants him to lead her. She wants to know that she's safe, that she's with him so that he can be her rock, so that he can protect her, so that he can keep her safe. It's not because she's weak. It's not because she's not capable. It's not because she needs a man. It's because she is looking for something in the relationship that she wants to complement her, right? She's looking for someone who can offer up the things that she's not offering up for herself, that she's not, because if she could do it for herself, then she would, right? She wouldn't need to be with him. She wouldn't want to be with him. She wouldn't seek him out. This is how we find ourselves seeking out another person in our life, to fill in those places where we feel like there's something that we want and we want the other person to provide it. And so when he's not trusting himself, when he's not respecting himself, when he's not leading himself, then she can become very agitated with him, but not have the words to be able to tell him about it. And when she does have the words, when she says words, it sounds to him like criticism. It sounds to him like he's not doing it right, because he already has this pain of feeling like he's wrong, like she's criticizing him all the time. But she's really telling him about her pain. And if he would just see that it's not really about him, she may be talking to him, she may be talking at him, she may be talking about him, but it's not really about him. It's about her and how she feels. It's about her discomfort and her frustration about not being able to fix it, not knowing how to verbalize it, not knowing how to describe it, not knowing how to ask for help. And so this is what I do all the time. I help men unravel these things for themselves. I help them understand why she's upset. Not so that they can turn themselves inside out, not so that they can fix her because she's broken, not so that they can be somebody that they're not, but so that they can better understand what's going on in their life so that they can make choices for themselves. And so many times, what happens is I'll ask a man, what do you want, right? What do you want? She's telling you what she's upset about. She's telling you what she wants. What do you want? And he'll say, I don't know. I don't know. And he says, I don't know because he's spent so much time looking outside of him, trying to please her, trying to make her happy, that he doesn't know who he is anymore, that he's forgotten. He has this, it's atrophy, right? It's been so far in the past since he's owned himself that he doesn't know how to do that anymore, right? The neurons are weak. The muscles are weak, that he hasn't been to the gym in a long time, and doing that kind of heavy lifting hurts. And so this is what I talk with men about. We get down to the heart of what's going on in his relationship, and then we talk about what's going on inside of him. We talk about who he is and who he wants to be and how he wants to live his life. And once he starts doing that, he starts finding that people outside of him, his wife, his coworkers, his friends, his family, his kids, they all start to magically change. They all start to react to him in very different ways because he's being different in his life. He's showing up differently in his life. And he doesn't realize how much he's participating in what he's experiencing. So if you want to change what's happening in your life, if you want to feel comfortable in your own skin, if you want to stop taking her pain, her expression of pain, what sounds like criticism, you want to stop taking that personally and start owning yourself, then let's talk. Go to happymancoaching.com and fill out my free coaching call request form. Let's talk. Let's get on the phone and talk man to man. I also have courses, a community, retreats, local meetups, books. There's plenty of resources on the website that you can find in order to get answers to your questions. You just have to start. You just have to start looking for those answers, and you have to start looking inside of you to say, what's going on inside of me when she gets upset? How am I walking around all day long? What is it that I'm thinking? What am I trying to avoid? What am I afraid of? And when you face those things and address them and start coming up with answers for yourself, your whole world changes. Your relationship improves. Everything is better. And look, she's not going to be happy 24/7. No person is. But when she's unhappy, you won't take it personally. You won't be frustrated about it. It won't blow up into a big thing in your relationship. And she'll just have the space that she needs in order to be a human being. And you won't take it personally and think that it means something about you. It'll improve your relationship, and you can hopefully avoid divorce. So, happymancoaching.com, book that call, and I'll talk to you soon.